Timber. Awesome. What's going on, guys? Joe R, Vintage Pokemon, and we're back with the Pokemon TCG Classic. Look at that black shiny goodness that we got there. So we're gonna actually pop this bad boy open, and lot of talk going around town with this box. A lot of people saying it's not really worth it. A lot of people saying it is worth it. People love the Japanese. People love the English. People hate the English. So we're going to talk about all that good stuff in today's video as we unbox this thing and talk about who this is for, what you get inside, and everything in between. And we're going to at some point move upstairs because this thing here is massive. And the box it came in was massive. So we're going to talk all about this and open up at least the main box down here. And we'll bring the cards to our sort of little mini studio in a second. So plastic wrap off. It's not the only thing on there, keeping it sealed. There's also a little bit of tape on the top end here. So let's get that off and then we'll continue in a sec. All right, so we got that shine off and we got that tape off and ready to take a look at this thing now. I'm glad I did that because that tape was a little bit of a pain in the butt. We needed to go to our X-Acto knife to get that off nicely. So this opens in this direction, it looks like. Ooh. And there we have it right there. Okay, so let's pull this out. And I believe the cards are off to the side and everything else. So we're going to actually slide that off camera. So I think our cards are actually in here. And we're going to take a look at that in our separate room. So first things first, here we have our case. And how's this thing open up? I think it slides out. Oh, it does. So this slides open just like this. Oh, nice, okay. And this can open up. Ooh, all right. So this opens up like this, and you can see our insides here. We've got this here, and it's very sturdy plastic. So very nicely built, okay? There's your premium damage counters and a little circle tray for where you can actually decide who goes first, who goes second, what's heads, what's tails. That's how they do it. Kind of cool. I really like that. Flipping the coin is kind of a pain in the butt. I hope that it actually works out the way they intend. And you can see here, they got a little bit of foam on the inside there, a little attention to detail. And we've got these really nice things. The inside of this, nice felt, really kind of premium. This magnetic. You got a leaf one, a fire one. Cards are not inside here. And we've got the water. Okay, so let's talk just for a second about this. We're going to flip this over. I'm not sure. Yeah, no, we have to take all this out in order to use the actual game board side. And I think we might have to back it up also. But let's talk a little bit about this thing. So this is clearly a premium. Oof, okay. Let me see if I can do that for us. Oh, interesting. So this is clearly a premium product, right? I mean, this is not meant for, little Jimmy to go to grandma's house and ask for Christmas or anything like that. But I will say that this is more geared towards, honestly, me. I'm a middle-aged guy who grew up in the 90s with Pokemon and TCG, and I loved collecting. And this is sort of geared right towards my age demographic because I'm old, I'm an adult, and I got adult money, and this is what we like to burn it on. So that's kind of what they're geared towards. So for people that are saying this is too expensive, I mean, I get it. It is really expensive. I think it definitely could be a little cheaper. It would be more fair for certain if this was geared towards the Japanese audience. Like we have the same exact thing basically in Japan, and it's $150 less basically for retail. And I think that's a little unfair that the American and European markets are kind of getting shafted like that. But at the end of the day, I mean, this is instantly going to be clicking. For you collectors out there, this is instantly clicking on 2 boxes. Older, rare, minter, better. Obviously, this is brand new. It's basically modern. But it is instantly going to have some level of rarity to it because there's not a lot of these that are being printed, not a lot of them being made. You're not going to see a reprint of this particular product. I don't think you will anyway. And it's obviously going to be mint condition. So for those reasons, I think there is going to be some inherent value right off the bat with this. And we're going to take a look at these cards and see this card quality, which should be good, I'm hoping. And we'll see what we've got inside. So let's go and scroll on up to our other room now that we've taken a look at the big piece and see what the little pieces that we've got are. And we'll make some comparisons. I've got my own opinions about the Japanese versus the English. So let's continue to talk about it in a more comfortable setting. All right, so we've got the meat and potatoes right here. These are our particular Pokemon cards for the TCG Classic. And the big thing that you're expecting in this is the base set reprints, Charizard, Blastoise, Venusaur. But you got a couple little chestnuts of goodness in here alongside that. You, of course, got the Charmander, Bulbasaur, and Squirtle. I want to see what the best way to open this is. Oh, this flap right here. Charmander, Squirtle, and Bulbasaur. But you also have a couple other Easter eggs like the vending series Mr. Mime, which has not been seen in decades, along with some never-seen printed cards like the Ho-Ho and the Lugia. A little bit of added protection there, trying to do it justice. Pokemon, nice job. And we've got this card here, not for official tournaments. So that's the thing, is that these cards cannot be played in tournaments. They are just for funsies, which, as a collector, it's fine with me. I mean, you're not going to be playing with base set Charizard unless it's for funsies typically anyway. And so we've got our decks here, and each deck comes with its own theme of sleeves, I think. So this is the first set of sleeves. Nothing too crazy. I mean, it says Pokemon Trading Card Game Classic. So they expect you to put the cards in these sleeves. We're not going to do that. We're going to put them in some penny sleeves and straight into some rigid top loaders, things like that. And I do like the Blastoise, Charizard, Venusaur are not sitting directly on top, which I think is kind of good. And let's see what the best way to actually open this is. It'd be nice if it had a pull tab, because I don't see one on here. Let's see. Oh, okay. Got a little bit of plastic off. I want to be careful here now. There we go. We're not going to handle this with gloves or anything like that, but we do want to be somewhat careful. Was there a pull tab on there? There might have been something to that respect. Okay. Geez, could have made this a little bit easier. I will say that. Oh, there we go. Okay. You know what? I think there might have been a pull tab on it. I just had to look at it more carefully. So this is our first deck. And it's got the Suicune on front, just like that for us. And we're going to take a look through. And, oh, there's some sparkle there. So the energies are holographic too. I wasn't really sure if the energies were going to be holographic also or not. So we got a whole lot of energy cards. Scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. We've got a Psychic. More water energies. And right around the middle of the deck is when we're probably going to get to our base set cards. Oh, we get the Mewtwo. Now, the Japanese cards all have holographic borders on them, and I love the holographic border look. Some people have said that they don't like how the holographic border makes it look almost like a fake card from back in the day. Personally, I don't think that's really much of a problem. Computer Search, a very vintage card, highly played in the original theme decks. Colorless Energy, also very highly played. Bill, which we have, unfortunately, 4 copies of, just in case you really want to try to get that 10 for the bill if you grade them. Professor Oak, 4 of those. And there we go. We get the Squirtle. We get a second copy of Squirtle. We have the War Turtle, and so far these look very nicely centered. Another computer search, interesting. The Pokeball. The Pokeball. Rockets Admin. Switch. Interesting that those had holographic borders. Ultra Ball. Colorless Energy. And there's the Blastoise. We'll put this down for a second just to take a look at the Blastoise here. So you can see, not perfect centering, very close. See the back side. Okay, looks very clean all the way around. No problems there. Okay, so sharp corners. And yeah, that's your base set Blastoise. Now, the holo pattern, I feel like leaves a little bit to be deserved. The pattern itself, I don't think is any different for Japanese, but the Japanese has the entire border also holographic, and that definitely makes it pop more. So, I mean, if I was to be asked which I'd prefer, the English or the Japanese, I would definitely say the Japanese looks nicer. Now, I've heard lots of arguments saying that Japanese looks like a fake card. I've heard that people love the extra holo pattern. You know, when it comes down to it, it's really personal preference. Right now, this is very, I wouldn't say it's in demand. I would say it's very easy to actually get a hold of. There's plenty of places out there where you could still order this, and it's under retail. It retails for $399, and I picked this up from a local game store for $350 plus tax with the added cost of shipping. So mine came out to about $400 after all that, because the tax definitely adds on to it. But I would say it's not hard to get your hands on right now. I think in the next couple months, that obviously is going to dry up, and that's going to lead to some people really overpaying to try to get this product. So I think even though right now there's not a lot of hype for it, I think down the road, inevitably, whether you like this design or not, this is going to be in low supply because they are not printing a ton of these. So that's my 2 cents on it. Let's load her on up into a penny sleeve. Okay. And that's good for a PSA 9 at the very minimum. We'll put you over here for now, Blastoise. Boop. Just right there off to the side. Let's take a look at the next deck in line. We got the Lugia. I do love the Lugia art. You saw Lugia in the background over here. As a matter of fact, why don't we pull this down? Put that down just like that. Okay. And let me actually see off camera. Is there a pull tab? Oh, there's totally a pull tab for these, so I'm kind of a dodo. You pull it right around the middle just like that. I was saying to myself, I was like, I feel like this should be easier than it was. And it should just kind of slip off. Hold on a second. Let me give it a little tug. There we go. You just get that little plastic goodness off. So we pull that off. Pull that off. Okay. And right off the top, we've got the Lugia. And that's a nice card. This one has not been released anywhere. It's probably going to be in some future releases. I think Pokemon was quoted as saying that. Really nice how the whole card is holographic. It's a shame that we don't have something similar for the base set starters, but really cool nonetheless. We're going to take that and put that down right over there. So we have our Lugia card, and now we've got the Grass Energy. So this is going to have the Venusaur in it for sure. We got the Grass Energies galore in here. Full, I'm guessing this is 60 card deck. We get some Fighting Energies, more Grass Energies, because they didn't want to just have it all grass in a row. Had to make the video interesting, alternating, swivel style. Computer Searches again, because I guess it's got to be a fair fight. Computer Search is really an OP card. I mean, being able to search for any card in your deck. There we've got the Onyx. That's a really sick card. I do love how the holographic pops on you with these cards. And like I said, the actual holographic pattern, I don't think is any different for the Japanese. The big difference is that you don't have that holographic border, which I get, but at least the card itself is still basically the same. We've got Bill times 4 because we need as many bills as possible, and we get to the Bulbasaur, and that holographic really pops as well. Now, what's going to have value in these decks for the immediate turnaround is probably the starters. I've already seen people trying to sell these things. This came out literally a day ago. 1 day ago, this came out, and people are already trying to market graded 10 copies for hundreds of dollars. Whether or not that's going to hold long term is yet to be seen. But I think immediately, if you want to grade something, the starters are your best bet. Maybe the Pikachu, because there is a Pikachu. I think it's in the Charizard deck. So Pikachu would definitely be something worth grading for yourself. There's only 1 copy of Pikachu in the entire deck. So unlike many of these common cards, which you do get multiple copies of, ooh, there he is. You only get 1 Pikachu. And I think that was the only Onyx that you got in this deck as well. So let's actually take our, yeah, your plastic. Let's take our Venusaur. We'll sleeve him up right away as well. Put hands on Venusaur. There we go. So Venusaur here, nicely done. Okay, just a standard Venusaur. You can see, by the way, the symbol TCG. I think it says in the corner here, CLV. That's the set symbol for this particular set, the TCG Classic. Backside, looking very nice, Venusaur. Well done. Okay, so I think the actual, where we got it, actual quality of the card is quite nice. I'm not seeing any problems on our first 2 decks. Get you back there. Don't throw hands, Lugia. And we'll take a look at the rest of these real quick. So we've got Paris. It's nice that they give a little bit of homage to some of these lesser cards too. So we've got the Paris, and let me see, just make sure. Okay, just want to make sure I'm putting these into the same deck. Parasect. There's the Scyther boy. So you've got not just the base set, Venusaur, Blastoise, and Charizard, but you have a lot of these vintage repeats. Scyther getting some love. A big card originally in the TCG because Scyther had no retreat cost and did some quick damage if you got those double colorless energies on him. Sandshrew. Everybody loves a little sand. Sand Slash. There's Hitmonlee getting a little bit of love. Hitmonchan. Doduo. And these cards are all reprints from other sets, except for some of the newer ones. There's the Chansey. Chansey, a lot of love for Chansey for some people out there. One of the first cards ever designed for the Pokemon TCG too. So really neat to see Chansey getting a little bit of play action in this set. 120 HP, double-edged, doing heavy hitting on both sides of the field. You get Snorlax in there, Big Daddy Snorlax, and Boss's Orders, followed by Pokemon Fan Club. And good old Pokemon Nurse, Nurse Joy. So very pretty, these holo patterns. I do love them. They look really nice. Some of the cards do have holographic borders. Most of them don't, though. I think actually, just to go back for a second, we didn't finish the Blastoise deck. I just realized this was still undone. So we still got Staryu over here, Starmie, Magikarp, Gyarados. That's looking sick. Lapras. There's Articuno. I knew that we had some cards from some other vintage sets that we hadn't gotten to yet. So Articuno getting a little bit of love here. Drowsy. Hypno. There's the Mr. Mime. Mr. Mime from the Blastoise deck. And this was printed as the Vending Series card originally. Never before printed in English. So neat that we've got that now here. That might have a little bit of value. And now, this I thought was pretty interesting. Lieutenant Surge's Rattata finds its way into the TCG Classic, along with Lieutenant Surge's Raticate. That's pretty neat. But it's also an interesting choice. Of all the cards, you choose the Rattata and the Raticate. Kangaskhan, Boss's Orders. There's that full body holo pattern again going all the way around that everybody wanted for the English. Pokemon Fan Club, Rare Candy, Super Rod, and Versus Seeker to finish it off. Okay, so we've gone through 2 of our sets so far. We've got 1 left. Let's get this over here. Just reorganizing a little bit. There we go. Let's get Venusaur back over there. Come on, look good, man. Look good. Last one. We've got the Charizard inside here. Look at that Ho-Ho standing out front, just like that. So we'll take a look at that real quick. Let's see. Our pull tab should be on the back side here. Right there is the pull tab. I wish I had known that from the start. There we go. Get that off just like that. Should be able to pull this apart. Did it not come all the way apart? No, it didn't. There we go. Okay. So we've got the Ho-Ho to start things off. And let's just take a look at this thing. I mean, man, that's got some sparkle to it. Never before released card. Can't play it, but it's coming soon to a theater near you. At least I'm guessing. Fire energies. You know what's coming. Fire. 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 A little bit of electric. Electric slide. Back to fire. There we go. Fire. Fire. Back to electric. Oh, there you go. We're doing the dance now. There's the Clefable from Jungle. So they're giving some good homage to some of these older cards. Clefable makes its way into TCG Classic. Very pretty, very pretty. We got the Colorless Energy, Computer Search, Bill. Professor Oak finds his way in there again. Gotta make things fair. And then we get the Charmander. Charmander going to be one that a lot of people want to collect. Send it in, get it graded with the Charmeleon, the Charizard. That's going to be one that some people are going to really want. Be heavy on it. We got the Charmander again. Charmeleon again. So we get 2 Charmanders, 2 Charmeleons. We're going to get that 1 Charizard card. Pokeball. Rockets Admin. Switch. Ultra Ball. A double Colorless Energy. And there's the Big Daddy himself. We get the Charizard. We'll put that down for a second. Take a look at our Charizard. And we're going to sleeve him up right away. Let's go. Get him in there. Yoink. Just like that into our penny sleeve. Okay, so very nice. I could tell it's a teeny bit off left to right, I think. Not terrible. Backside. Looks very clean. Can only hope for the best. Beautiful card. Okay, can't really call for more. Can't really call for less. Would I love that border again? Yeah, I would. On the other hand, I'm also, I speak English, so it's only natural that I'd like to have English cards that I can actually read. That doesn't mean I don't like my Japanese cards, though, because I do have tons of Japanese cards. Like I said, I really wish they could have gone with the full holographic border on these. I don't think it detracts as much as some people claim it does. Ponyta, Rapidash, Magmar from the Fossil set gets a little bit of love here. Pikachu, that one's going to be worth setting aside for myself. There we go. Very nice to see Pikachu getting a little bit of homage. We get the Raichu, Voltorb, Electrode, interesting, from base set. That's some rainbow pattern right there. Zapdos finds his way in there. I'm not sure. Did we see Moltres? I don't think we did. Clefairy. So we had Clefable. Now we get Clefairy from base set. That's a lot of silver right there. Dunsparce, interesting. Stantler. Miltank. Boss's Orders. And I think we just have the generic trainer cards again now at the back end of this thing. Super Scoop Up. Versus Seeker, and that is it. So what do we think about TCG Classic? I think we have some high-quality cards. We've got the base set starters, which people love to collect on a regular basis. We've got some new cards. Is it worth the price tag of $400? I think upon release, the answer is no. This should have been way cheaper. I think the Japanese did it right, pricing it out at around $250. 400 is a steep mark, but they are advertising this for people like me, someone that has the money that they're willing to kick in and spend, someone that loves the cards. And it's just not something for little Jimmy. I will say that it's a premium item for a customer base that has the money to burn. Do I think it's right that they did it that way? No, I really don't. Do I think more people would have bought this if it was cheaper? Absolutely. And for that reason, I do think these cards are going to have some collector value over time. I think it would be silly to not think that. The Charizard, the Venusaur, and the Blastoise have always been highly collectible. And now you have this right from the get-go, low supply of these cards. This is not like Evolving Skies with Umbreons galore, where 4,000 of them have been graded PSA 10 already. And I think I'm undershooting that. I think it's more than that by a lot. But, I mean, the point is, you're not going to have 40,000 copies of the Charizard getting graded. You're going to have a limited supply of them that are out there right from the start. It's kind of like an artificially low supply. And so for that reason, over the years, you're probably going to see this set hold some value. And I think right from the get-go, I mean, look at historically speaking, Charizards graded as 9s and 10s tend to do fairly well on the market. So considering you paid $400, you got these three big guys, along with a lot of other cards that right from the get-go, if you grade them a 10, are going to have some sort of value. I think if you're the collector that's grading these, you're going to find yourself having your money back in terms of card value. Now, is it fair that somebody that doesn't want to grade these is going to not have that value back? No, I think it would be nicer if this was a cheaper set. Like I said, it's not worth $400 in terms of items that they're giving you straight out off the bat. I think that the set is nice. I think it could have been a little bit better in terms of the board. It's nice premium plastic. I will give them that. But it would have been nice, I think, if it was even sturdier and a little bit cheaper for what you did get in the grand scheme of things. Really cool set. I think I'm going to really enjoy having this as part of my collection. I'm definitely going to sleeve these bad boys up and put them away, keep them safe and sound for now. But, you know, that's all we do here is vintage Pokemon cards. And I'd love to hear what you think. Do you think this set was overpriced? Do you like the Japanese? Do you like the English? And one way or another, do you enjoy these cards? At the very least, the actual set itself, the board. Are you going to use the board too? I think I'm actually going to use mine, and I plan on using my deck boxes too. Those are really nice. Those are premium. So I think it's a really cool set in general. Just could have been done a little bit better in terms of the total overall value that they're asking for in the price tag. So guys, that's all I've got for you today. Joe R, Vintage Pokemon, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye bye.